Hi everyone, Rob here from Helm of Awesome Windows. Thanks for joining me here on my channel. Today's video is going to be my process of a roof moss removal job using a roof scraper. So my first bit of advice is it's always important to go and visit the job before you even give a quote. You can look at the job and the environment. So for example, this job today, the environment dictates that I'm going to be using a slightly different chemical because the customer has lots of wildlife and they also have honeybees in the garden, so I'm going to be using a different chemical to usual. You can check out the surroundings to find out whether you're going to be able to use things like scaffold towers or whether you'll need a cherry picker or ladders, roof ladders, step ladders, whatever it is equipment wise that you might need to be able to use. Also, you can check the roof tiles, so that's very important. There might be cracks, there might be broken tiles, there could be all sorts of issues up on the roof, so it's best to check that and let the customer know before you even start to touch the roof. And also to advise the customer that once you start to scrape the moss off, there could be potential of, again, damages. You could move the moss and a tile could fall away, for example. So it's really good idea to go to the job first, speak to the customer, find out what they want, find out what you can provide, and just check the environment and the surroundings first just to protect yourself.
First things first, make sure you always say yes when the customer offers you a cup of tea and a piece of cake. The next few short videos are going to be a breakdown of what the job looks like and the processes that I take.
Right guys, here's the roof. So I have two sides to the roof. This side has quite a few solar panels on. So we're going to be doing what we can around the solar panels as explained to the customer. As you can see, it's nice easy access. There's a shed at the back there which we need to do both sides of that, and as I walk you around, take you around to the other side of the house. This is a bit more awkward with the access, but we also have the roof on this side.
Right then guys, here's some of my tools for the day. For the scraping, I've got my double-headed scraper from Marshall Pro, got my wire brush on the top and my flat plate on the other side. It's flat tiles, so I'm going to be using that one today. You can adjust it horizontally and vertically, just slots in the end of your water fed pole, or if you need some shorter handle for closer tiles, I also got this from Marshall Pro. Brilliant piece of equipment. And we're going to be using Safe Wash today rather than a biocide. Now this is organic and completely non-toxic outdoor cleaner. You can use it on all exterior hard surfaces. Now I've never used this product, but there's a lot of wildlife here. They also keep bees at this property, so we're trying to use it as safe a product as possible. So that's what we're going to be washing the roof with at the end of the job. And we'll also be using the Skyvac Mighty Atom at some point to clean out all the gutters. So here guys, I'm using the roof scraper attachment that I got from Marshall Pro. It's just in the end of one of my old gardener poles. I tend to scrape from the top to bottom, although I did have to put a ladder up the side of the property so I could scrape across the top of the solar panels. Here I'm just using a handheld wire brush that I got from a local hardware shop. So it's, when I'm getting some of the tiles, that's a little bit closer and at the bottom of the roof, easier to use the handheld brush. And here I've angled the scraper so I can drag it across the tiles. This works on flat tiles, but if you've got shaped tiles, it doesn't work so easily. But you'll learn to adapt and find your own styles and techniques for scraping. The main thing is just to get yourself up nice and high so it takes the stress off your shoulders. So here's the roof before the scraping, and here's the roof after scraping. You can really see that just the scrape makes a massive difference to the roof.
Next, I'm using my Mighty Atom gutter vacuum from Spina Clean to clear out the gutters. If you don't have a gutter vacuum though, obviously you can use a scoop. Then it's a case of just clearing up your surroundings or giving the floor a sweep. Obviously you can use dust sheets in some instances. Now it's time to chemical clean the roof. So here I am putting the Safe Wash into the Bacpack. I'm just using pure water. And then I'm using my DA applicator, which I got from DA Components. That's on the end of my pole and being fed through my Bacpack.
just spraying it, giving it a good coating. Here's a closer view. You can see how the DA applicator works. It sprays that chemical on. Like I said, this is Safe Wash that I'm using. This is the first time I've used this one. Then whenever I do a roof clean, I like to give the fascias and gutters a clean. That's also included within the quote. And then wash down all the windows, frames and sills, just to make sure there's no chemical residue left anywhere. And just a side note on the chemicals, because we use Safe Wash, there was no need to disconnect any of the downpipes, but there are some rules and regulations in regards to using biocides with the COSH and the HSE, with how you dispose of the chemical. So just be careful, because sometimes you need to disconnect the downpipes and you have to dispose of it in a different way. So just make sure whatever chemical you're using, use it in the correct manner.
So there we have it, guys, little roof scraping job done. Couple of things just to summarize. Make sure you have a plan. Plan everything out before you even start, because I've had issues where my Bacpack stopped working once and I had no way of applying the biocide. There's been times when we've been to a property and, you know, went with the intention of using the scaffold tower and then couldn't put the scaffold tower up. So make sure you have a plan, and that's why it's really important to go and see the job first and discuss with the customer and have any kind of backup just in case of any potential issues. Take your time with the job. It's really physical, it's quite challenging, and you'll learn a lot on every single job. So just take your time, allow plenty of time until you get more confidence and more experience, and then you'll find that it just becomes easier and easier. The first few jobs feel an absolute nightmare because they seem to drag on, but it gets easier and it gets better, and you get more confident and you'll get more skillful with the way that you use the scraper and things like that. So just stick with it. And most importantly, just be aware of your safety. So don't be hanging off ladders or standing on roofs in any unusual way. Just always be aware of your safety. Wear things like goggles or face masks when you're doing your biocide or roof chemical. Yeah, just take all the precautions that you need to, and just be safe and give it a go and have fun. A little tip for when you're trying to get yourself a little bit more work: take plenty of pictures, put them all over your socials, before and after, during. People really like the before, after and during photos because they can see the moss coming off. It's quite a satisfying kind of picture and video-esque thing that you can use on your social media, so definitely do that. And whilst you're at the property and you're cleaning the roof, put some flyers or business cards in the neighbouring properties, because if they like what you've done, hopefully they'll get in contact with you as well, and you might pick up some more work. So that's my video done for today. Once again, thank you very much for joining me. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. It'd be great if you subscribe. What I'll do is I'm going to put the links to all the equipment, or the websites to all the equipment that I've used in this video. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know a little bit more about, please feel free to drop me a message and I'll do the best that I can to answer. And hopefully see you again next time. Take care.